Hey everybody, this is Dallas Doan here, doing the first video of my video series on the introduction to video game development. So this first topic is going to be talking about things to do before attending video gaming school. This is a really important topic. And the first thing that you need to do is you need to do your research, okay? And that's something that I tried to do, but I just didn't know where to get the information. Luckily, I had someone that I went to high school with that was going to video gaming school, and he was able to answer some of my questions, but he was able to answer it maybe a couple of days too late because I had already signed up for information and a tour at the school. So I'm here to kind of help you with that, okay? So the very first thing that you need to do your research on is how much does it cost? How much does a program cost that you want to go to? Okay, so that's the very first thing you need to find out. Because for me, I found out the hard way how expensive it was to go to video gaming school. The next thing is you need to find out how long the program is for school. Like how long will you be there for? How long is the video gaming 3D modeling program going to be? How long is the game art and design program going to be? Then you have to decide, are you going to be going there part-time or full-time? Do they even have that option? Because not all schools have that option. All schools only have maybe full-time. Some schools have part-time, but it's limited. So make sure that you ask these questions when you do go to the school's tour or open house. These are really important questions to be asking. Last but not least, for me, this is what I had to do. I had to do student loans. And for me, when I did student loans, it was a bit late for me finding out, but my student loans actually didn't cover for my full education. It was only covering a certain amount. Therefore, I had to stay a little bit longer in school to drag out my student loans so that student loans would give me more money to cover for my program. Okay, so it's really important to do your research with student loans. Now, how do you gather all this information? Like I said, most of the time you are going to go to the school's website, and from there, something that I've noticed revisiting those websites today, when I was trying to find out these answers, was they don't really have cost and the cost on their website no more. And I think the main reason why, and I'm not sure if this actually is or not, but I'm thinking the reason why they stopped putting the cost on their website is because it's really expensive. Now, let me let you guys know how much it cost me. I went to school there about 5 years ago. I started school there about 7 years ago, and that cost me $30,000, and that's Canadian, $30,000. So I'm looking at the programs now, and the program length is a little bit longer than it used to be. So I assume that means that with inflation and the fact that the program is actually longer, at my school at least, some schools didn't have an increase in their program length. I'm assuming it's going to be about $40,000 to $50,000 now. Okay, and I could be completely wrong, but that is the estimation that I would have. But the only way for you to get this information, okay, the only way you can get this information is if you go to the Arts Institute website right now and you apply. If you apply to go into a program, or if you apply for information, like if you sign up to get information, usually in 3 business days, within 3 business days of you signing up, you'll have a salesperson on their team contact you and ask you if you want a tour, ask you, to attend the full house or the open house, sorry, to check out their school. And there is when they'll usually sit you down, do maybe a little mini interview just to see who you are, because they have a whole interviewing process in most of these schools. And then and then they'll give you like a pamphlet, not necessarily a pamphlet. They usually give you like a big folder, and it has all of the information in there. So that's how you'll get the information for sure. Okay, is through that. So I already talked a little bit about the costs and how there's just not that much information on the website. Most of the time, you're going to see on the website the curriculum. What is it that you can be learning, things like that. So in my city, the two schools that I know that still have video gaming programs is the Arts Institute of Vancouver and the Vancouver Film School. Okay, those are two schools that still offer video gaming programs. Now, if you go to their website, you're going to let's see here. You're going to be a little bit confused, and let me actually show you guys. Let me actually show you my screen here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to the Art Institute's website. Okay, so I'm going to go here, the Art Institute website, and you're going to notice that there's, for me personally, I thought it was really confusing going to school because I wasn't too sure where was that I wanted, because of the way they was laid out. I wasn't sure what program it was that I wanted to do. All I knew was I wanted to go into video games. So let's figure this out here. Okay. So when you get into here and you request for info, all this and that, you're going to notice that there's a bunch of things. Okay, first off, you're going to see 3D modeling for animation in games, right? And then you're going to see game art and design. And they almost kind of sound very similar, game art and design, 3D modeling for animation in games, right? You see games here and you're like, okay, well, what's 3D modeling? Because for some people, they don't know what 3D modeling is, right? So, and then there's things like, what is it? Where's programming? Visual and game programming, right? Game programming. So when I was looking to go into video games and going into a school that taught video games, all I was really searching for was games, and whatever program had game in it, I thought was going to. I thought, like, I wasn't, because there was like 4 options, I wasn't sure which one was right for me. Okay, so I have something to help break it down for you. Okay, so here we go. Oh, what am I doing? Nope, from here. Okay, so what program should I take? And I have this little simple graph here, or flow chart, whatever you want to call, on where you should be going. Okay, so this is a simplified version, okay, of what a video game development team looks like, and so I will get into more in depth with this in future videos, but this is just the base of it. Okay, so if you so there's 2 differences. Okay, there's the programming side of video games, and then there's the artist side of video games. Okay, the art side. So a programmer makes things work. Okay, that's what a programmer is. Programmer is the one that doesn't get much credit because you don't visually see a lot of the stuff that they do, but they are the people that make the game functional. Without them, there would be no video game. Okay, so if you like coding, if you like looking at code all day, if you like writing, if you like having the engineering mindset, then programming is where you want to go. Okay, if you are more of a creative person, or you like designing things, whether it's I want to create a cool game, I want to be the one that creates the features, I'm the one that wants to create the level design, I'm the one that wants to create the art for the video game, then you want to become an artist. Okay, now programming is pretty simple. If you want to get into programming, you make sure you get into video game programming. Pretty simple, right? Now the artist this is where I'm a little bit biased because I am an artist, so I know this a little bit more. this is where I got confused, because I was like, okay, well now I want to get into art. But as you saw earlier on the Arts Institute website, there was two sides. Okay, now not every single school has this. Some schools, they only have one program for game art and design. Okay, so Vancouver Film School, they only have one game art and design program. There's no other selection. So, as an artist, if there's two differences now inside an art team. Okay, on the art side, you have a designer. Okay, and then you have game artists. Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing for people who don't understand video game development. But a designer and a game artist, they're different. They have different roles inside a team. Okay, so a designer is someone who creates how the game plays. Okay, so they're the one who creates the feature sets. Okay, they're the one who creates the mechanics. They're the ones who creates, you know, the jump. Like this is how you jump. You know, you collect coins in this game. What do the coins give you, right? And in this series, I'm going to be talking a lot about Mario. Okay, because it's very simple and people understand Mario. Okay, so they're the one who does the game balancing. Okay, making sure that the game's not too hard, making sure that the game is not too easy, making sure that if you have a complex video game when it comes to competitiveness, that it's balanced. Okay. A game artist is different. A game artist is someone that creates the physical art assets. Okay, so they're the ones that creates the props. They're the ones who creates the animations. They're the one who creates the characters. Okay, so they create the actual the assets for the video game. So they're the ones that you'll see the trees in the backgrounds. That's an artist made that, not a designer. Okay, an artist made that. So at the Arts Institute, they have two programs. Okay, they have the game art and design program, which was the program that I took. And then there's the 3D modeling for animation in games program. Now, which ones should I go into? I broke it down into for more to make it more simple. Okay, game art and design program teaches you a bit of everything. Okay, and then I guess not by the end, but near the end, I'd say 75% through the program, you've already had a taste of a bit of everything. You had a taste of design. You've had a taste of creating props and animations. You've done a little bit of programming. And what's going to happen is, then once you finish and having a taste of everything, now you have to decide which one you liked, and now you have to focus on that. And you only have about 25% left in your program to be good at that. What it is that you decided you were going to get good at. Okay, whatever it is that you decided you wanted to focus on. Whereas in 3D modeling for animation and games, you do learn a bit of everything as well. Okay, but the main focus is you becoming a great artist for creating assets for a video game or for animation films. Okay, so if you know that you don't want to get into design, okay, and designing, a lot of people think that it's, you know, a lot of level designing. Majority of designers do a lot of documentation. They're the one who has to create the documents on how things work. They're the one who kind of has the vision for the game, right? They're the one who has the vision of the game. They're the one who says, okay, this is how the level is going to look like. This is how the level is going to flow. But guess what? You don't just create that. You have to draw that out using flow charts like these. You're going to have to write it all out so that when someone reads the document, they understand how this level is supposed to flow and how it's supposed to work. Okay, so that's the difference there. For me, like I said, I didn't really know where I wanted to go. So game art and design program I thought was best for me. So that's what I took. I took the game art and design program because I wasn't too sure what it is that I wanted to do. So I decided to just learn a bit of everything, and that ended up working out for me. Personally, I wish that I knew that I wanted to be an environment artist right away, so that I can just take 3D modeling animation for video games, because I would have been more focused on 3D modeling, which is what I do most of the time in my career. Okay, so alright, so I hope that really helps you decide where you need to go, okay, and what program to take. So The next thing that I want to talk about is, you know, before you sign up, before you sign your name on the dotted lines, right, and you cross the T's, dot your I's, and have decided that you want to go to school, you might want to try out being an artist, right? And for me, this is me speaking to people who want to get into the art side of video games. When it comes to programming, I don't really know what to do, honestly, if you wanted to get into video game programming. But as an artist, I suggest you download Blender. Okay, so let me just, I'll show you guys my screen here. I suggest you download Blender. Blender is a 3D program and it's free, right? So I suggest you download Blender. I suggest you check out Maya. Was it 2013? I think, or 2014 now. I think I don't know which one's out there, or which one's the newest one. I think it's Maya 2014 now. Nope, that's not it. Okay, so you can download Maya wherever Maya is. Okay, I suggest you do the free trial or the student free software, right? And then or try out 3D Studio Max. I believe in the Art Institute. I learned in Maya, so it doesn't matter which one. Pick one that you like. Try it out. Okay. There's tons of tutorials. Okay. There's this website called 3dbuzz.com, and here they have live classes, live workshops, they have training. So here there's game development. So this is where programmers are. So this is where programmers can learn how to create stuff. There's 3D Studio Max, there's Maya, there's ZBrush, there's Blender right here, right? So you can learn all that using 3D Buzz and just see how if you enjoy it, and if you do, then continue on, sign up to go to school. Okay. Oh yeah, and I totally forgot. And for designers, people who are interested in designing, I suggest you download. Where are you? I suggest you download UDK, and this is free. This is the Unreal Engine, and it's free. Okay, and you can do level designing on this completely for free, or you can try Unity. And Unity is what I'm actually using right now at work, and I'm enjoying it compared to what I was using in our current, or in our older game. So Unity is free as well, so check that out. So that's for designers, okay? And let's see here. So why do I recommend school? Because a lot of people, they're looking at this and they're going, well, there's 3D Buzz, I can learn all this stuff without even going to school. I think the biggest thing that I took out of going to school for video games is getting your foot in, the biggest goal that anyone should have when they go to school afterwards. What their goal should be is not to have a nice demo reel. I mean, yes, you want a really good demo reel, you want a good portfolio, but the biggest goal that's on every student's mind when they're about to graduate, and you can ask anyone that's graduating, is getting the first job, right? Getting their foot in the door of a studio. So people don't understand this, but you doing all this stuff in 3D Buzz or on 3D Buzz or whatever, you don't understand what you're missing out on, because the instructors that are teaching you in school, they're industry professionals. Your instructor could be someone working at EA. Your instructor could be someone working at Ubisoft. Could be someone working at Microsoft. And that is invaluable, because your instructors are the ones that get to see how you work. And if they are impressed with your work ethic, guess who they will be recommending when their studio needs a junior artist? when they need a junior programmer, when they need a junior designer. If you impress your instructor enough, they will put your name through. Okay? Your peers. A lot of people don't understand that your peers in school, you're going to have some amazing standouts. Okay? You're going to have some really bad peers. Okay? But the good ones, one day, could be your referral. When being asked, do you have friends that want a job at our studio that you think can fit our studio? And one day they might be your boss. You might have a friend that you went to school with that accelerated at the studio and gets promoted to become a boss, and they might be the one that ends up hiring one day. And last but not least, networking possibilities. And for me, when I graduated at the Arts Institute, where I got my job was actually through my portfolio show. So when we did our portfolio show at the Art Institute, I met my future employer there. So that was fantastic. You know, I remember a bunch of times when I went out for beers and to go watch the hockey game and things like that with my instructors after school. That's networking. You know, you get to meet your instructors, you know, outside of the school setting, and not only that, you get to meet some of their friends that are also connected and working at studios as well. So networking possibilities is super key, and that's something that you can't put a price on. So these are my final thoughts. My final thoughts in this video. You know, school is what you make it. Okay, just because you finished a program, it does not mean you will get a job, and that's something that I want to ingrain in people's minds. I know too many students that I graduated with that do not have jobs, or they had a job in the industry, but it was like not the job that they were expecting to get coming out of school. And majority of them have changed careers. So school, after you finish school, it doesn't mean that it ends there. As a video game artist, you need to continue working on your stuff, and you can't get discouraged. And it's tough out there. It is a very competitive field to get into. It's also about the amount of hard work you put into your portfolio as well, and the people that you meet along the way. Okay, your portfolio has to shine. If you're someone that decides that you don't want to go to school for this, my God, does your portfolio have to be amazing. Not only does your portfolio have to be amazing, but you have to have an amazing reputation on the internet. Your stuff has to be so good that when you create a render of your environment or your scene, and you put it onto CG Society, you put it onto Game Artisans, you put it on Polycount, everyone is spreading the word. They're sending it out, and they're linking it on their Facebook, linking it all over social media. You know, unless you have that reputation, it's going to be very difficult to get into the video gaming industry without an education. Alright guys, that's pretty much the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback and suggestions. So the next video that I'll be working on is going to be me explaining the different areas of video game development. I'll be breaking down what the different areas of a video game development team looks like. Okay, so hopefully you guys tune in for that episode, and you guys all have a good one.